Welcome back to Digiburst, guys. Today I want to talk to you about the premium deck set. This is a deck set that's just been released literally yesterday, so I wanted to jump on it on why I think it might not be best for you and why you should potentially wait for the new starter decks to come out individually, or potentially how you could benefit from this set. Let's dive into what exactly is in the set. So it comes with the Jesmon starter decks and the RagnaLord starter deck. You get one of each of these pre-made decks. You get 60 sleeves of each of these, so 60 of the Jesmon sleeve and 60 of the RagnaLord sleeve. 2 memory gauges, one of the Jesmon and then one of the RagnaLoardmon. 2 of each of these promotion cards, so 2 Fly Bullet, 2 Jack in the Blade, and 2 Brave Metal. These are some really beautiful alternative arts, especially this Fly Bullet. This will definitely be sought after. And 2 of the premium set lucky packs. So these lucky packs contain 1 card of any of these 4 cards. And you get 2 of them, so potentially you can get 2 Midoki Betamons, 2 Metal Greymons, or just 1 Midoki Betamon and then 1 Metal Tyrannomon, etc. And that's it. One thing to note particularly is that they do not include these reprinted Tamers that these individual starter decks do have. And these individual Tamers, I believe they are guaranteed, so you will definitely get these 6 reprinted Tamers in these sets, while this will not include it at all. Now, what are the pricing for these sets? Well, this premium deck set is MSRPing at 60 USD, which is very pricey as I understand, while these individual starter decks MSRP at 16 USD. So, very big difference in price. If you're comparing only the starter deck pricing with the premium set, well, 2 starter decks go for 32 USD. This compares to 60 USD. So if you only care about the starter decks, then you're losing quite a lot of value. That's essentially my argument for people who are planning to build the RagnaLord and the Jesmon starter decks, is that if that's the only thing you really care about, then you're losing 28 USD in value. Or because you have to pick up 2 of these in order to build just the Jesmon deck, for example, then you're spending 120 USD on the 2 Jesmon starter decks when you could only spend 32 USD for just the 2 Jesmon starter decks. That's a huge difference in value. Just to compare it for my Australian friends, because I'm Australian, I have a couple of Australian subs, the premium deck is going for $110 Australian. And that's really, really crazy considering that the price of the starter decks are probably going to be around 25 to 30 Australian. That's a huge price difference. It's going to be $120 Australian compared to $60 for just 2 individual starter decks for if you just want to build the RagnaLord deck, for example. Now, one thing I have been told by other people is that the release date is incredibly important, but actually it's not really. The individual starter decks are being released on October the 14th, while this premium set comes out literally yesterday. So that's a difference of 2 weeks. Like, comparatively, if you have these cards, yeah, you might be able to go in at locals, but these starter decks are not legal for play, technically, until the 14th when they get the proper release of these starter decks. That means you definitely won't be able to bring them to any regionals or high tier play like that, and sometimes if your locals is picky, they won't let you play it at locals either. So be very careful when buying this product and building decks for it. Definitely talk to your local gaming store and make sure that they're okay with you playing this kind of deck if you buy this on the earlier date than the 14th, to make sure that they're allowing it, because sometimes they just won't do it because it hasn't been properly distributed yet. Also, in comparing the pricing, these individual starter decks do come with these guaranteed reprinted Tamers, and some of these reprinted Tamers are quite valuable, particularly Davis here. This one as a rare, printed back in BT3 or 1.5. As a rare, this card goes for over $10 USD, so you can definitely get a lot of value from that if the Davis price remains. And these tamers are not included in this set here, so that's one other advantage that the individual decks have over the premium set. Rather than just the value, you also get cards that aren't in this set. So if this is $60 and then this is $32, if you multiply it times 2, then what's making up the difference of 28 USD? Well, that has to come into the sleeves, the memory gauges, the promotion cards, and the lucky packs. This is essentially what will make or break this product. Is these things $28 in value or more? That's the concern. So, sleeves, typically they're 5 to 8 USD, correct me if I'm wrong, that's just judging from estimations from my Australian store. So if you really like these sleeves, go for it. I'm personally not a fan of these art sleeves. I don't really like art on my sleeves. I much prefer just a plain color, especially because these sleeves can get damaged easily, and that really takes off the usability of these sleeves. But you do get 60 of them for both of them, which is nice, I guess. The only problem is that once you buy a second one, if you want to complete your decks, you now have 2 of this one and 2 of this one, and you now have a personal oversupply of these sleeves, because typically you don't want decks with 2 of the same sleeves because they can be confusing. You don't want to accidentally bring a different deck to, a tournament. So these sleeves will honestly drop in value a lot on the resale market because there'll be an overabundance of them. So I don't see these sleeves actually retaining much value at all. Memory gauges, I don't think anyone cares about memory gauges. A lot of people have memory gauges built into their mats, or some people just, have their own already set memory gauges. And these guys don't look too impressive, honestly. So the only resale value for these will come into the promotion cards here, especially this Fly Bullet and the lucky packs. In terms of meta or consistent play, the Madoki Betamon and the Metal Greymon are the only cards that actually have consistent competitive play. The Metal Tyrannomon and the Venomiotismon don't see play at all in the metagame. So these will be the money cards for the set, when these ones will not. So if you pull these ones, you're in luck, and these ones, you're out of luck. For the resale value of the Fly Bullet in particular, I think it will be quite high. Fuel Starmon is a very popular deck, and you definitely run 4 of the Fly Bullet typically in a Bill Star deck. And this art looks absolutely gorgeous when there's really... The only other alternative art for Fly Bullet is the pre-release, so you can get a shiny, but that's it. So this Fly Bullet will definitely be very popular. Whether or not these cards make up the value for $28 is the big question. Knowing that you'll get 2 of these 2 Fly Bullets is good, because specifically if these are worth, for example, $10 USB, then you only have to make up an $8 difference with the sleeves, the gauges, the rest of these 2 cards, and any of the promo packs. But then again, you also need to think like, do you actually plan to be playing both of these decks? Because you really, for a single meta or a single set, you only typically need 1 deck if you really like it. But I know a lot of Digimon players flip between decks, so I can't imagine people playing both the RagnaLord and the Jesmon deck. But if you are on a budget, you typically only play the 1 deck per format. And that will honestly price out a lot of people. Like, they won't want to invest in a RagnaLord deck that they don't plan to be playing. And therefore, this product won't be of any value to them, really, because they're losing a huge chunk of value because they're picking up a RagnaLord deck that they don't plan to be playing. So when it comes down to it, you could potentially resell these starter decks if you're able to, but at that point you're competing with the price of this starter deck, and you're going to have to price the resale of the starter deck much lower than this one in order to compete with it, because this one, comes with the Tamers, which are quite nice and quite good for the reprints of these cards, especially because they bring up the art a little bit more. So you're going to have quite a difficult time reselling any of these decks that you didn't want to play. So as it comes down to it, the only people that I think should buy this product are people who A, want to build both RagnaLord and Jesmon decks, and B, really like this artwork for the promotion cards or are able to resell them at a profit. If you only want to build the Jesmon deck, I highly recommend only getting the starter deck for Jesmon, or RagnaLoardmon if you just want to build RagnaLoardmon, because you will be getting the bonus Tamers there and you will be paying a lot less. If you plan to just be picking up these promotion cards, I recommend just buying them when they're cheap from the secondary market. That's the best way to get them at a decent price probably. It all comes down to the demand and stock number of the Fly Bullet if you are going to be going for that card in particular, because I can imagine that Fly Bullet could be really, really expensive if people don't buy this product because they'll be at a limited supply on the market, and when there's a limited supply and a higher demand, prices just go up. So I'll end the video with that. If you liked it, give it a like. Check out the rest of my BT10 stuff I already have on the channel. I've been pumping it as much as I can. And BT9 stuff is there on the channel too if you still want to be in this format that we're in right now. Subscribe for more of that, and I'll see you next time.